Hey everyone, let's try this again. I just tried to come live on here and my phone did something weird, so we're starting over. But I am in El Paso. I am getting ready to do a vocal steam here. But I wanted to come on because it just feels really weird to not, I really try to quote, stay in my lane and talk about what I know. And what I know is that there's a lot of passionate energy out there right now because there's a lot of crazy shit happening in this country and in this world that we live on. And I wanted to come on and just talk about why being passionate is so courageous. And it takes courage. And I think that I believe that from an artist perspective, from the perspective of anyone out there who is an artist, who is trying to share their work, share their creations. Um, I think that as a coach, if you're trying to share what you know passionately with other people, that takes courage. You could keep it all in and just keep it to yourself and not share it. But that connection, that community, that understanding of other human beings is what is so important. And I think it's what we're missing so much of the time. People can be passionate about different things. I think we have an administration that's passionate about money and power, and they are acting therefore. And um, I've never considered myself an activist as much as I believe so deeply in human goodness and humility and kindness. There's power in kindness, my latest tattoo. Um, but this is a moment where being passionate about the things that we feel and we think is going to take a lot of bravery and a lot of courage. And it's the most important thing in the world, um, to be passionate and to be honest and to be unapologetically willing to have conversations, because I think a lot of people don't even know what to do at the moment. And a lot of people are scared. And there's been many times in my life that I've felt that way, sort of like, does my opinion weigh anything of importance here? Does my opinion matter in this moment? Are my viewpoints in alignment with anyone else? And is this the time to speak up? Um, whether we're talking politically, whether we're talking in career, there are certainly times that we need to listen, you know, we need to listen more, and we maybe need to say less. And then there's times where it is so fucking important to speak up, to speak up. The only way that things change is when we speak up against whatever might be oppressing us. And that could be like we are seeing politically right now. That could be in work. That could be in a collaborative situation with someone. That could be in a partnership. Um, this is scary shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a scary thing to realize that, you know, we don't really know what's going to happen in the future. We really don't know kind of where things are heading. And I think people feel very powerless in a lot of these moments. Like, there's nothing we can do, but we can be passionate and we can connect and we can have conversations. And, I see things online about calling our senators and doing things. These are the moments where we can share what we think, where we can talk to our community, we can show up with our community. Um, but I believe that I guess the thing I wanted to say is, like, this matters in so many rungs of life. Like, I think back to, you know, the girl I was in a abusive relationship a few years ago, and I was such a passionate person, but I wasn't saying those things because I felt very stuck in a really unhealthy relationship. And I think this matters then, when we are in a situation where we don't feel respected or heard, and we stop expressing ourselves. We start playing small. And if anything, over the last few years, that's been my goal, is figuring out how to be more courageous about my passion and to not censor myself. Now, that also doesn't mean just be mouthing off left and right and not listening. And I think that's a problem too. When people have no ability to listen to others. So being passionate is important, and being a good listener, because that's the humility piece that so many people are missing. That's the kindness piece that I think so many people are missing. So, this is a reminder to me today to listen. It's a reminder to me today to speak up. Um, there's been so many instances over the past couple years where I've spoken up in moments where I thought, oh, I'm going to lose my job. Oh, I'm going to lose this opportunity. Oh, but you know what? It was the right thing to do. It was the right moment to speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to say words passionately that you believe, that you know are true. These are the only ways that we can cross the aisle, and for me personally, looking at everything politically happening, it's very difficult because I believe it's on both sides of the aisle. I believe that everything is corrupt. I don't just think it's a left or a right issue. I think it's kind of an every side issue, and everybody's just screaming at each other and nobody's really listening. And it's so difficult to watch what's happening in this country. It's difficult to watch people you care about being marginalized, hurt, whatever it might be. I don't have the answers, but I do know that we have to talk, we have to communicate, we have to connect, we have to engage, and we have to be brave about that, and we have to be courageous about that. And I have a very small platform in my life, but I hope the people on the big ones are really willing to use that space to say words, because now is the time to speak up. Now is the time to be passionate. Now is the time to um, do that thoughtfully and courageously. And it's very difficult and very sad. Just very difficult. I mean, I'm out here singing ABBA, worried about my tour, worried about whether we're going to drive safely in the weather, completely a bit removed. Sometimes it feels like from what's happening in the rest of the world. And all I can say is I'm watching the videos and I'm watching what's happening in this country, and I'm listening. Like, I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to really pay attention and figure out where to connect into it and how to do whatever little part we can do to sort of not I don't want to say right the wrong, because it ain't that simple, but to engage with the communities that we're in, and to listen to each other. And it's just so fucking scary and so fucking sad. I have to use the F word. There is no other word, you guys. um but anyway, in my little corner of the world, making music every night and hoping that we provide sort of like an evening of solace and joy. I do believe that matters too. The art we put out, the things we create, the music we make, the way we use our voices. I think music heals. So for all the music makers out there, keep making fucking music, keep singing songs, keep writing songs. This shit matters. It may feel so small and so minuscule compared to the atrocities that are happening all across the world, not just in our country, everywhere. But those little passions matter. They do. They do. They do change things. They do bring joy on the smallest scale towards the bigger scale. So anyway, it's just on my heart. It's on my mind. I'm sending love to all of you out there, wherever you are, no matter where you are in the world. It's just such a crazy time. And I will say that's one of the interesting things about being on tour, not just being in Los Angeles, is getting to be in other states in this country, and seeing little snippets of how people feel and what's going on. And Um, Realizing that when we all go on social media, we all sort of get fed by our little bubble, and we've got to open up the bubble, man. We've got to talk to more people outside of our little tiny circles. We have to listen to other opinions, and we have to sort of figure out how to connect through them, because we're not always going to agree on everything. We're just not. But I think we can hopefully agree on human decency. And that's the thing that is just so mind boggling about all this, um, that power and money trumps human decency. But I do think that's where artists come in. So, anyway, keep creating, keep being passionate, don't be afraid, be courageous. It's not easy to do, but it's the most important thing to do. And anyway, send in love for Texas. 5 more weeks on this tour, people. Let's keep singing ABBA.